Boycott Disney! Boycott Disney! Boycott Disney!
Hello, this is your television speaking. Let's push the button marked idiot and see what comes out.
Oh my.
This has been a glorious week. It's been a glorious week for Disney, making more fumbles upon more fumbles. It is hilarious. All because in Florida, they passed a parental educational rights bill and it sent Disney into meltdown. All their activists are just forcing people, force holding them, I should say, since they're destroying Star Wars. And oh my God, Star Wars. There's a video I might make about that later on. It's actually hilarious. But a further example of what Disney is doing in destroying your favorite franchises. So, what am I talking about today? Well, there's actually quite a couple of things I want to discuss. But on Wednesday, and I wasn't able to cover this story on that day because other things had taken up my time, but on Wednesday, hundreds of Disney employees went down to California to the headquarters for the House of the Mouse and basically wanted to have their say, basically just give back a lot of verbal shit, but in a very peaceful way because it was a Christian group called Hold the Line. Dun, 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 dun. Love is never on time. No, no, no. And if you know Toto, you know why I just sung that song. But obviously this Christian group is not named after that awesome rock song, but they were just there to protest peacefully, to have their say, because can you imagine actually working for a company like Disney right now and you're being told you've got to think one way or one way only. If you don't, it's the highway, love. Off you go. Terrible. It's the same reason why Gina Carano left Disney, because when she was summarily dismissed at the end of The Mandalorian Season 2, she later went on to say that part of the thinking, the corporate thinking of the staff at Disney is that if you don't think like a left-winger, you know, an activist, a moron, then you're not one of them. You're out. That's it. Kaput. Goodbye. Terrible. So I think Miss Carano is in a better place now anyway. And she was only getting paid 50 grand per episode for The Mandalorian. So you know what? And Gina Carano comes from a rich family anyway, so it's not like she'll ever be skint. But this was an interesting story. This is the first of many things. I'm glad this custard pie laced with dog shit in the middle is going right back in Disney's face. They absolutely deserve it. Now, here we are with this quick video. And look, I'm not even going to introduce it. It will speak for itself. Boycott Disney! Boycott Disney! Boycott Disney! Obviously, I'm not making fun of the revelers who've turned up. They've got every right to protest and protest peacefully in this case. And I did like this person here. Now, I think she's been an employee for maybe 10 years or more. And she was one of the rare people who stood up on stage and basically said it like it was. And I admire people like her, and more people like her should actually be brave to speak up against what's happening to them. I will say this much. I'm glad I don't work in HR anymore. The last time I worked in HR was back in 2012, the year of the London Olympics. And I think if we had that ideology back then, I would have left that department a long time ago. I've already left them, but can you imagine being in HR now and having to deal with a copious amount of paperwork based on one person's set of pronouns and gender identity? Oh no, thanks. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and fuck you, goodbye. Here we go.
I'm a cast member here at for Disneyland actually. I've been with them for quite a long time, and it's gotten very political, and it's gotten very hard to be who you are. It's gotten very hard to be someone who has conservative values, someone who believes in the right to choose somebody who believes that it's okay to stand up for righteousness. It is okay to stand up for righteousness. Any Disney cast members that are afraid to be bold, that are afraid to be courageous, stand up. It's okay. You're not alone. And I'm a cast member.
Now, I agree 100% with what she said. You can be conservative, have conservative values, and be righteous and stand up. Never be afraid. That's kind of the mantra of my channel now, because like a year and a half ago, there were so many things in entertainment that I just had a really bad take on because I thought that's what the algorithm of YouTube wanted. No, it only applies if you got over 100,000 subscribers. Then you can churn out any of bullshit you want. You can be as insincere about a product that you like and really you don't like it at all. But I completely agree with her 100%. While I thought she was faultless in what she said, I think they should have probably have changed the score of the music. So instead of a nice melodic piano, get some heavy metal on and say in the following verses,
Disney disciples, you are the sons and daughters of Satan.
I don't know what got into me then. Maybe I was possessed for a few seconds. Now this guy, Mike Huckabee, what an awesome name, rips into Disney execs as well, who turned Disney into a perverted purveyor of soft porn. Now I have looked at his video. I might play you a few seconds of it, but I will get a copyright claim on it. But Mike Huckabee, he's a former Arkansas governor, and he talks about the experience that he had growing up with a black and white TV, watching the Disney Club, all these sorts of things, what Disney gave to him. And what he says here is that Disney has become such a purveyor of soft porn and wokeism, and that instead of entertaining children with fantasy and magic, Disney's new model is sexual fantasy, outright betrayal, and rejection of traditional values of marriage and gender, he added. Well, I will say about that, I mean, the traditional values of marriage has obviously changed over the years, so obviously you have the gay marriage, and that's fine. I have no problem with that whatsoever. I think where it gets into a very blurred line is where people are making up new pronouns every single day. At the moment, as I speak, there's like 70 pronouns, 70. I bet by the end of June, there's going to probably be like 100 more. Nobody cares. And you know, can you imagine meeting somebody for the first time and you misgender them and they get aggressive about it, or say, no, excuse me, but I like to be known as shut the fuck up. Wow, I hate that. I'm not here to be lectured to because I misgendered you. It's absolute bullshit. If you want to identify as a man, a woman, whatever you want to identify as, that is perfectly fine with me. I have no issue with that at all. So where I think Mr. Huckabee's last moments of that paragraph is, you could have fine-tuned it a little bit, but I understand where he's coming from. And again, when I saw Shang-Chi last year, one of the objections I had about that movie, and again, the same thing with Black Widow, is the fact that the female characters are behaving like men, talking about the uterus, talking about the vajayjay, because, that's why I earned all my hard-earned money, went to my favorite cinema, got my popcorn, got my best seats in the house to hear vagina jokes. No, nobody wants to hear that at all. It's stupid. When it's in the right material, in the right kind of movie, that's no problem at all. So yeah, this is Mike Huckabee's channel here. I'll play just a very quick excerpt from it, and then I'll move on.
Look, I'm perfectly fine with representing all races, but I don't understand. I mean, do children really need to know about the sex lives of any cartoon characters?
No, they don't. Definitely not. When I watch my favorite cartoon characters, I just watched them because they were awesome, they were fantastical, and they took me into another world. I never sat there thinking, well, I wonder, have they got... Yeah, you don't even go there, do you? It's so bizarre. I just hate that. But look, I'm kind of taking you to another avenue now, which I thought was hilarious. So, in case you think Disney hasn't gone far enough yet, you got to check out this person here, because when I saw this video, I saw absolutely red. And honestly, when you do see what I'm talking about, I have to go all the way down.
I feel a responsibility to speak, not just for myself, but for them.
Oh, here we
children,
go.
Actually, one transgender child and one pansexual child.
I would love to know how old those children are. Wow, one's a pansexual. And what was the other one? Transgender, a transgender child. Is this woman insane? Wow. You know what this feels like to me? Valley of the Dolls, where everybody looks, speaks, and thinks the same. They're doing this to kids. That's what it feels like. Oh, reimagine tomorrow. No, Disney. How about we just destroy tomorrow and reset the scale from 0 again? How about that, Disney? How about we do that? Wow-wee.
Child and one pansexual child, and also as a leader, and that was the thing that really got me, because I heard
that's
so
why America does not
much
have
from
a
so many
female
of my colleagues
president
over
yet.
the course of the last couple of weeks, in open forums and through emails and phone conversations, and I feel a responsibility to speak, not just for myself, but for them. To all of us,
because of course they can't speak on any. They can't speak for themselves, can they? You're speaking for
again,
them.
A home of really incredible, groundbreaking LGBTQIA stories.
No. Oh God, here we go. So Disney. Now, if you look at Disney's roster of LGBT characters, they have a few. Their most notable one, I think, was a person called Spectre in the film Onward with Tom Holland and Chris Pratt. Now, Chris Pratt, I'm surprised he would be in a film like that, because he's a very Christian man. I don't think his values would sit well with being in a film like Onward and the hidden transgender character they had in there. Well, the character was male but voiced by a female. That's how they got that one in. Wow. I don't understand this. Look, you know, when I read Alpha Flight and North Star came out as gay, did I roll my eyes? No, I was actually shocked. I thought, wow, they put this in the comic and it's actually a good message. It's awesome. It was great. Now, of course, comic books have seized that. They've just ran with it and just rammed it down your throat. It's absolutely horrible beyond belief. But we have to go to one more thing today, folks, because I just thought this was hysterical. So if we just go over to this thumbnail of Bob Chapek, who issues a groveling apology to the company of LGBTQ activists. Oh, we have to watch this video, don't we, folks? It's going to be quite hilarious when it decides to load up here. But while I'm waiting for that to load up, I will say this much as well. The reason why Bob Chapek finds himself in this situation is Bob Iger. It's his fault, because Bob Iger, when Chapek was not going to make any kind of remark about the parental educational bill in Florida, Bob Iger, I believe, was interviewed by CNN, and he made some remarks about it's about the bill not being right, not being wrong. It's something like that he said, or it could have been another thing that he said on top of that, which then forced Chapek's hand to come out and say something, then get a backlash. And now apparently, now look at his thumbnail, he's actually begging forgiveness. This reminds me of the John Cena video where he called Taiwan a country, which it is, and everybody got furious. You must apologize because we got a new film coming out, which was an absolute garbage pile of doo-doo called Fast and Furious 9. And John somehow learned to speak Mandarin in 5 minutes and learned Kung Fu as well at the same time. It was shocking. So let's have a look at this video, folks, because this is going to be quite the thing. Now, where are we? Okay, here we go.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate you taking time out of your day for this very important session. By now, I hope you've all read my most recent note, in which I pledged to be a better ally for the LGBTQ plus community, apologize for not being the ally that you needed me to be, and committed to ensuring that our company lives
sitting in the
up to its
classroom.
values. I meant every word, and that's what we're here to talk about today. I know that we've got work to do, and that work starts with listening. I'm glad the company will hear from today's panel of LGBTQ plus employees, and I hope that you are as impacted as I've been by the voices that I've heard over the past few weeks. I've read many emails that have been sent, spoken with LGBTQ plus employees and their allies.
Well, lucky you!
Advocacy groups and convened my own leadership team. And I have been taken by the honesty,
yes,
the openness, and the urgency of your stories.
Yes, you should
want
be.
you to know that your words have made a real impact on me. I understand that we've made mistakes and the pain that those mistakes have caused.
Oh my
and I
God,
know that
Bob.
our silence wasn't just about the bill in Florida, but about every time an individual or institution that should have stood up for this community did not. I and the leadership team are determined to use this moment as a catalyst for more meaningful and lasting change. We've heard many suggestions on how to do that, and we are working to move quickly. I want to thank the LGBTQIA plus advisory
activists,
council, their allies, and
psychopaths,
everyone else who has submitted
predators
ideas on how we can take action. I am convening a meeting with all my direct reports and representatives of the advisory council to discuss the thoughtful suggestions that have been made. But we know the moment requires urgency and words are not enough.
Oh, I can't
so
belch.
we are taking some actions right now.
So Bob talks about how it's the right of every LGBTQ person to stand up and fight for their rights. Like the Christian group, Hold the Line. They stood up this week. They had their say. They're fighting for their rights. What did you do about that, Bob? Huh? What did you do about that? Wow. He's got so much makeup on as well, doesn't he? Doesn't look like the same guy. He's bent the knee, hasn't he? He really has. He wasn't going to do that before, but I wonder if it has anything to do with another psychopath called Victoria Alonso.
I don't know where the future is going. It's funny that people call it the X-Men. There's a lot of female superheroes in that X-Men group, so I think it's outdated.
And a 2-year-old, but you don't tolerate us. We deserve the rights to live, to love, and to have. More importantly, we deserve an origin story.
We deserve the right to live and blah, blah, blah. Of course you do. No one's saying you don't deserve the right to live. Is this woman absolutely freaking crazy? But you know what? It doesn't end there, folks. No, they demand their own origin story. Who the fuck is going to go and watch that at a cinema? Not me.
Max deserves an origin story.
Oh my God. Oh God, I want to puke. Yes, parade the innocent child around. Look at that. Oh, gross, fucking gross. Have you sanitized yourself, ladies? And you know why I draw attention to this and Victoria Alonso standing on the stage? Max, he deserves a story.
That you grew up too soon.
At first, I really didn't know the difference. I was like 6 years old, hanging out with a bunch of 25-year-olds. I liked being around older people. I felt like I could relate to them better.
Why?
Just because they were more experienced.
Oh, well, I don't know about you folks, but I think I am waking up in a nightmare every single day. In fact, I like it to go back to 2020 when we were all indoors and doing our own little thing. I miss those times, but maybe, just maybe, we can get another reset button, and if it does happen, I call it nuclear war, by the way, that we'll just get rid of all this ideological bullshit that is permeating and poisoning everybody's minds at the moment, and especially the next generation of people coming up. That's what it feels like. It's like we don't want the new generation to be like the previous generations because it's setting a bad precedent. It's the worst example ever. It's going to destroy the world and its legacy for years and years to come. But Disney, you're already doing that, and it's a glorious fireball of a mess. I can't wait to see how this turns out. It's going to get funnier and maybe more cringier by next week. So if you enjoyed this video today, folks, make sure you do me a favor, hit the like button below, smash that subscribe button like it's Bob Chapek's face, and if I were you, I'll look out for me on my next video.